All right. Ex-President Donald Jackass Trump just did a interview very proudly talking about how Liz Cheney, lifelong Republican, daughter of Dick Cheney, um, yeah, should be put in front of 12 aimed at her, or 9 aimed at her, for accuracy, to see how so she knows how it feels to be in front of a firing squad for treason. He also once called for the execution of General Mark Milley, a lifelong servant, lifelong hero, dedicated his life to this country, as did James Comey, as did Robert Mueller, as did all of the FBI investigators and FBI and CIA and all of those people that lost their careers and had their lives ruined because they ended up at work being part of an investigation, and maybe the lead in an investigation, which put them on Donald Trump's personal vengeance tour hit list, so to speak, literally. And now he's calling for Liz Cheney on November 1st, 5 days from the election. 6 days for all you Republicans. You go on November 6th. Remember that. You go vote on November 6th. Calling for her execution. At the same time, the Republican talking pieces are blaming the Democrats, and J.D. Vance is talking about how the Democrats' rhetoric, calling him a threat to democracy and a threat to this country and a threat to the safety of the citizens of the United States, a threat to the entire world. But never fear, because Cheeto von Schitzenpants knows more about terrorists than the generals themselves, and most of the generals themselves really don't know anything, because part of his speech at the rally was how stupid, unintelligent a number of these generals are, and he listed them. He doesn't like any of them because they're worthless, because they're not him. And there's veterans backing him as he says this, as he shits all over John McCain, because John McCain was captured, a captured POW, tortured every day. Him and a number of other United States servicemen were captured at the time when Donald Trump's family was not. Donald Trump's family, who was started by his great-grandfather, who actually left Germany because didn't want to be part. He was basically dodging, the draft in his country, and then came to the United States as a draft dodger because, that's what their family does. So it's one of those things that just, it's inherited. But yeah, how he treats the veterans and how he treats the ones we know of, and the Gold Star families, and then institutes a draft from 18 to 26-year-olds, all male, United States young men have mandatory military service written in to the new rules that Donald Trump wants to bring to the table, the whole Project 2025 and Agenda 47 and all that other crap. Calls for a nationwide draft too, which is ironic because how much he respects the military. And there are actually people who don't notice, but they're country first. They're military first, right? Yesterday was Halloween. There was a float in a small town, Mount Pleasant, I believe, of some jackass in a golf court surrounded by fake Secret Service dressed as Donald Trump, carrying this really thick theater chain with a big around the neck of this woman who's beaten and bloodied looking, made up to look like that, to resemble Kamala Harris, being dragged through the town. And child's Halloween parade with clowns and everything else, and ghosts and witches, and Donald Trump dragging the presidential candidate who happens to be a black woman in shackles at a Halloween parade. And Republicans can't see that they're kind of contributing to the hatred and the anger in this country. The same 24-hour period when Donald Trump demands a firing squad against another lifetime civil servant, Liz Cheney. He's called for that in a lot of people he didn't. We're better than this, people. Even Republicans are better than this.